first started in 2000, I knew for me the big step as a trainer would be, like, how do I get my own facility? But then I started to figure out that it's not that easy to put a facility together. There's equipment, building tracks, maintaining these tracks. It's a heck of a deal. I invested in this piece of land, and you've got to find at least between 50 to 100 acres to accommodate tracks. You start to iron out, okay, what's available. Also, you cannot be next door to someone's house. So there's a lot of things you look at and analyze. We're literally working out of a container, and the first thing was to get a supercross track built. And I mean, here we are, 17 years later.
Club, regardless what you thought this was. Japanese drip, mama bring a corner hug, show you what the rubber does, and how my motor buzz. You can't stand too close, cause it's brand new.
You ain't heard I got the nerve to attack a curve. Yeah, check your rear view, all you see is blur.
In Center Hill, Florida, 44 miles outside of Orlando, is an oasis of dirt surrounded by swamp and marsh. Nature that has been tamed with trails, jumps, and sand, but otherwise left undisturbed. Baker's factory is a playground for the motocross elite, an assembly line for podium finishers, an exclusive training program for riders committed to the long career ride that defines a world-class champion.
You guys have 2 motos today?
Yeah. Woohoo!
It's a full-time deal. We get done with our Supercross season, and then maybe we get Sunday off, and then we're right back into getting ready for outdoors. Florida, it's a week after Vegas, the finale, and we're just trying to make ourselves better and be ready for this outdoor series.
October 31st, I think, was our first day of boot camp, and so now we're already 6 months deep. We've got another 4 months to go, so we're over halfway, but the long, hard days are still to come.
Aldon Baker knows precisely what it takes to stay on the podium. A former professional cyclist from South Africa, Aldon and his intense training methods have guided Supercross champions, from Carmichael and Filippoto to Dungey and Anderson. He is considered to be the emperor in his reign, and Baker's factory is where he makes his kingdom.
Here at Baker's factory, we have Jason and Zach, part of the crew. I think I'm pretty selective on who I pick, and the reason being is I don't think this program's for everyone. I mean, it's a lot of structure. When an athlete approaches me, I always look at their backgrounds, what motivates them, and try and get a fair idea to see if the fit is going to be good. So I do prefer when an athlete obviously approaches me, already believing that the program is going to help them.
We have a really good group. It's a high level, so it pushes each of us every day to the same level. But at the same time, it's hard to find 4 guys that are as friendly to each other as what we are, and can kind of handle the pressure of being against each other on the weekends and then expected to come here on a Monday and train together.
Here at Aldon's, we got anything we want. We got clay, we got sand. We could basically mimic whatever we want from the races.
It's awesome to have a full-time track guy here, and we can all put our heads together and just kind of know what we need or what we need to work on.
If we have something we're struggling with, we'll build a pair of, sand webs. If we're struggling with that, we'll build off-campers. We'll water it more. We'll do anything. Our setup here is second to none. As far as the weather, you know, it's hot and humid. Whenever you go to the races, it's almost sometimes a little bit of a vacation. Everyone's got a different body type, and I feel like Aldon hones in on that and figures it out. And as you can tell, you know, I'm not like the biggest dude out there, you know, I'm pretty scrawny.
Oh yeah, baby.
Me and Zach are built completely different, and he's got to figure us both out to do his job.
Jason started with Aldon in 2015, and with him, you know, transitioning over to there was a little bit of a learning curve and whatnot, and moving forward, you know, over the past 3 years, he's progressed quite a lot.
I think he knew the benefits of coming to Florida and having, you know, tracks and a facility that would be better than what he had available in California. I think it's a big commitment to move, you know, buy yourself a house nearby, move everything, car, the whole program, and then get into the tough training with the Florida climate, which is not easy. It's the same with Zach. You know, he'd been on the West Coast for a while and also understood the benefits of being out here.
Zach, this is the first year of him actually working with Aldon, and it's been, I think, a big relief for everybody, including Zach himself. The guys that he surrounded himself with.
Tried a lot of training programs, and I've won some races, but never a championship, and then I felt like it was just the next sort of step for me to go to the next level.
I see the improvement with Aldon a lot with mental side, you know, the physical side, the bike stuff. Whatever that guy does with these guys, all the riders that he's ever worked with, it's crazy. Aldon has done great strides with our guys.
This presentation of Motor Club is brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. Tonight's episode featured music by Soup and Mark 7 and Connie Price and the Keystones. Available now wherever music is sold.
This sport is so unique with not really having an off-season. I don't think there's any other sport out there that has that kind of amount of races with that amount of training and riding and conditioning and then the strength training and then the travel added to that to keep your skill and fitness up. You have to train a lot during the week to maintain that.
Aldon, I'm not doing starts. Should I do starts?
Yes.
You
need to practice. I'm only asking for 5. We don't need an hour out there.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. Put the boots on.
While there is understanding and compassion from a Moto Jedi Master, every rider knows that training never waits, and every break is short and few. Motocross champions are united like no other in their understanding of the sport's #1 prerequisite: pain.
In a way, it's individual, especially when it comes to heart rate stuff. It is individual heart rates, but I've still got to combine the training in order to get it done.
It's tough to see the progress all the time, just because all those other guys out there are also, you know, working their butts off wherever they're at. We're here all the time, you know, training 7 days a week. We're in the gym, you know, on the road bike, just with the whole crew, you know, like Aldon, me, Zach, Marv, and Dunge. We're just always pushing each other.
I look at all my guys, they all have the ingredients and are top guys, otherwise they wouldn't have factory sponsorships. So in the case of Jason, he came from having accomplished his goal and winning the Lights Championship and then moving up to 450. From all the years that I've done it, I know that your rookie season on a 450, that changed just going where they raced 7 races in Supercross, not 17. And then going into this huge amount of 17 races plus basically 24.
All the training we do here, we're just trying to be ready for battle whenever we get to the race. basically redlining, you know, your heart rate within the first 3 minutes, and you got to maintain it for, you know, another 18 plus 1 in Supercross or 28 plus 2 in outdoors. I feel like here we race each other and we mimic it, but at the race, you know, it's insane. You got guys coming in trying to stuff you, especially like whenever you're in the battle for, you know, a podium or a win and it comes down to that last lap, you're redlining, you know, but you're still got to keep pushing so you either don't get passed or you get that dude in front of you and, you know, get that podium or, you know, that top spot. For us, we just want to keep doing the program out here and keep trying to keep everything level. I don't want my results to dip and be up and down from weekend to weekend.
I come from a line of being overworked for quite a few years now. Last year was really the first year where I felt like I kind of had a good balance. So for me, Aldon's kind of helped me with keeping it all in check and just working more steadily than huge days here and there. I felt it a little bit the first month, and then that time it was just like agony after I got going. I drink some water.
I didn't feel like Zach needed the motivation, but I think he just needed that overall structure that was well balanced, that could build up his morale and his mentality to know that he's totally capable.
The structure Baker's factory oversees not only includes morning cycling, daily gym, and riding time on the track, but also every ounce of food a rider puts into his body.
I haven't had so much as a good rip of dairy since I started training here. And the other day he's like, yeah, you can't cut out yogurt and you can't just cut out dairy completely. I'm like,
Honestly, yeah, I mean, yogurt is dirty, but I don't even really look because it's not, you know. But I would say,
I don't eat yogurt
just stay off it. For you, you don't need it. Your body type, hell no.
We went out for a steak dinner on Sunday.
yeah, but I'm allowed once a week. That was the deal.
No. We need to freshen up our rules. No, that stuff. You talk about soy and then you go to that, you are working well towards the wrong way.
Stop it.
Done. I will sit you down. Don't worry.
Stop it. For me, it was the first couple months that I was here. I had to send pictures every day of every meal, so 3 or 4 times a day.
Didn't want us eating out as much, so he'd make sure we send him a pic that we were eating at home.
I'm in a little different situation than Jason. I have a wife, and so I get a lot of cooked meals each week, whereas he has to do his own or go out.
Yeah, it's a pretty half-assed program.
I enjoy that it's just me, Jason, and Aldon, and we have like our own private little deal here, and I know that it's only going to take me 30 minutes to get here every day. I'm not going to be sitting in traffic in California to just do the work and be there every day and know that it's going to pay off on the weekend.
It's not an easy program at all, but it is what it is, and in order to be elite in the sport, that's what it takes.
In 2017, Rockstar Husqvarna rider Zach Osborne claimed the Supercross 250 class championship with a last lap dash that will forever be considered nothing short of legend.
Oh man, how is it going to play out? Osborne's here! The battle is on to the checkers and the title! Osborne to the inside! Takes him out! Oh, Savachi's in the dirt! Osborne! Final corner! And the title!
One point between me and first, and I was tied with the next guy, so it was a winner take all, if you will, sort of deal, and it came down to the last turn, so it was as stressful as it gets.
Everybody was back in the shop on Monday. We didn't even have time to enjoy the championship and the win, and Zach and Jason winning the race.
It was such an emotional roller coaster of a weekend. You don't sleep that much on Saturday night whenever you have a big deal like that. Just getting back here and getting back to the grind has been tough this week. I've been asked often, did having a kid, take your edge or whatever, and actually it's probably giving me more edge and more tenacity and vigor. For me, it's definitely a huge way of balancing and controlling my emotions, and like no matter the case, they're always gonna be happy with me, and no matter how the race goes or whatever, I always have that to come back to and sort of lean on.
It looks like Wonder Bread. I look like Ricky Bobby. You look like Ricky Bobby. Hey. That's what I said. I said, is that Ricky Bobby? I took a rock to my eye last weekend, and I just a gnarly black eye with a little cut. Yeah, I mean, like right now it's like bloody or whatever, but it's healing.
Glen Helen Nationals 2017. For some in motocross, these races mark the beginning of their outdoor season. But for the champion riders of Rockstar Husqvarna Racing, Glen Helen is one more hill to climb on a racing tour that never stops.
You got to join my hallelujah. I'm gonna save you from the flames.
We're out here at Glen Helen for the second round of the Nationals. It was just gnarly, rough, big jumps, and demanding.
Dean Wilson is the newest rider on the Husqvarna team. He earned his place just like the rest of his teammates, legitimately.
You've got to join my hallelujah.
I've had back-to-back knee reconstructions when I was on my previous team. And yeah, it was tough. It was really hard to come back from, and I never got picked up for this year. So I said, hey, I'll just give it my best and do it on my own and do it out of a van. Just do what I have to do. It paid off, and Bobby seen that, and I got picked up, and I love the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team. It's a great team. We all get along well.
Marty, don't do it. No, it's fine, dude. I got it. Don't do it, Marty. Me and Dean have became, really good friends. It's cool to have such a cool teammate on the team. We feed off of each other, and then, even though we battle, we check our egos at the door, and we're buddies when we get back in the rig. You saw my line. That was good. I was eyeing it down, and I kept it fresh. Like I knew no one was hitting it. Then I hit it, and I was like, Dean saw that for sure.
Oh yeah. I actually seen it on the first lap, but I was like, man, it's pretty far out there. But oh, it's way better, isn't it? You're like Mach 10. Yeah.
Every person has their own thing that you do. Zach and I have hand signals when we're on the track.
Historically, Glen Helen's been one of my worst races of the year. I woke up a little bit under the weather with like a sore throat and not really feeling the vibe.
Thumb hurts so bad.
Why? What happened?
I got like head shake in the bumps, and it just like ripped one side of my hand off, and then this thumb like blew through, like off the front. Glen Helen is kind of unique in the fact that it's a public track during the week, so if you stay in California, a lot of guys get a lot of time on that track, get used to the dirt, and just kind of already have a complete bike setting for that.
It was more my fork got deep and like slapped out of my hand. This hand came off, and then I was like on the bar. I got lucky to save it.
You hit a pothole or?
Huge, there's a huge like square hole right there.
100 pounds in my pocket. Back car too, but I ain't boasting. The drinks are chilled, not frozen. Enter 4 digits, then I go.
I like this track. It's close to what I kind of call home for the most part, and we've been riding here all the time. The sand section. Oh, that sweet line, huh? Sick line.
I can tell that they're loose as they watch how I move.
Jason, he's been on the team as long as I've been here. We signed him as a rookie, and Jason likes things a certain way.
You need to try like a whole shot link or something. It's squatting way too much.
You just go with it. He took the rock to the eye, but he rebounded in the second moto. You have to be mentally strong in this.
I like the way that you've been watching me.
This presentation of Motorclub is brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. Tonight's episode featured music by Soup and Mark 7, and Connie Price and the Keystones. Available now wherever music is sold. The hard work at the factory pays off, with podium wins at Glen Helen for both Jason Anderson and Zach Osborne.
My first moto win. It was pretty cool, to end up, with a good race. Practice went pretty average. And then the first moto, I had a couple tip overs, ended up 4th. Second moto, got a decent start and came from about 6th and made my way up to the lead and was able to pull off a moto win, which was sweet.
For Jason Anderson, a Jedi's work never goes unnoticed by his master, Aldon Baker.
Text me right after, text me in between races, so yeah, he's on it. He's on the computer, watching live time and everything.
Meanwhile, Zach Osborne always has enough fire to reach the podium, even after feeling a little bit less than himself.
These first 2 were the tough wins for me, so to come away with 2 wins is huge. I just need to kind of keep the ball rolling. I'm still kind of riding away from Vegas from my championship, and to come away with 2 overalls right off the bat makes the summer a lot shorter, makes the motos a lot easier.
Is obviously to get the best out of each athlete, and each athlete is very different, and also at different parts in their career.
The life of a motocross rider is a mad sprint for the finish. But turning that sprint into a marathon is what makes a champion. As legends come and go, the sport remembers their greatness, their blueprint for success, manufactured from the work and sweat of a factory.